Hello pretty people, what's up? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Tori. Thank you so much for being here today. It has been quite a while since I've posted on YouTube. I accidentally took like a month-long hiatus. A lot of stuff was happening. I flew to the Midwest to celebrate my friend and her bachelorette. I came back, I went to sweat tour. It changed my life. I got the world's worst cold, and then the election happened, okay, and I was not in the right headspace to deal with honestly anything. And then I also got my period and a sty last week during election week. But I'm back. I'm feeling so much better mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm feeling a bit more optimistic about the state of the world. We do have a lot to do, but baby, the power is in our hands. Yeah, that being said, I thought we could kind of catch up and I could share with you some of the things that I've really been loving offline in my life. I have some fashion favorites. I have some makeup favorites. I also have some like media favorites. I will admit though, there are no book recommendations in this video because I've been in the biggest reading slump of my life. But we're turning things around, all right? So I hope you stick around. Let's start with all of my recent fashion favorites. I have not made a favorites video for quite a while, I think probably since the springtime. So a lot of this is kind of more of like things I've been loving towards, you know, September, October, and now that we're in November, kind of like this season of life. Starting off with clothing, there are 3 clothing items that I've really been loving as of late, especially as it's gotten colder and colder in California terms over here on the West Coast. First up is an item that I thrifted last year. It's this beautiful blush pink blouse that has like this really lovely velvet ribbon detailing. I really like styling this piece with a pleated skirt and tights. I feel like it's just very darling and very feminine. The next piece is actually a 2-piece. I posted on TikTok a whole saga of me trying to spend a gift card at Reformation because I got one for my birthday and it was just like the original piece that I wanted was sold out, and so I was kind of like looking at Reformation to try and find something that was worth my money, and I found this amazing 2-piece. It's 100% cashmere. It's like this matching tube top and cardigan situation. I think it is so darling. But one thing I really like about this top is that I really like that the buttons match the gray of the knit, and I also really like the fold over detail of the tube top. I feel like it just gives it a little bit more of an elevated look. Obviously, you can wear the pieces together, you can wear them on their own, and these are definitely items that I feel like will have a lot of longevity in my closet as well. Over the past year, I would say I have become converted into a cargo pant loving person. I never thought I would say that, but here I am. I love this pair that I got from Anthropologie. I love the pocket detailing, and I also really love how the bottoms of it kind of flare out. They're not flares necessarily, but they are kind of just like a bit more loose. They don't really taper like I think some cargo pants do. I'm really loving this charcoal color for like the fall and winter time. I did find this in the Anthropologie sale section, and that is my favorite place to scour because I do feel like Anthropologie sale sections have such an amazing range. I've recently become like an Anthropologie girly. Around the same time I became a cargo pants person, I also became an Anthropologie lover, so they're kind of winning me over this year. The next 2 fashion pieces I have are handbags, and they both come in very different price points. So let's start with the more affordable one. I found this amazing woven bag at TJ Maxx when I was visiting my parents in my hometown because a suburban TJ Maxx just hits different. I've been on the hunt for a bag that kind of has this like leather woven look for quite some time. Obviously Bottega Veneta and its dupes have been very trendy and like really talked about over the past year, but there's also this other brand called Dragon Diffusion that I have been eyeing as well. Normally when it comes to a handbag, I also don't really love kind of like an open sack free-for-all. Usually I do like something that kind of has a zipper for extra security and protection, but there was just something about this bag, something about the way it hangs on the body that I actually don't mind that it's kind of like a bottomless pit. I can fit books and my water bottle and kind of just like stuff this thing to the brim, which I really like. And then moving on to a smaller, far more expensive bag, I have this bag from All Saints. I talked about it in my Vegas vlog. All Saints gifted this to me, which feels so bananas because I have loved All Saints for the longest time. But I got this gifted to me and I really just love the studded detailing on the side of the bag. This is kind of like the perfect going out bag. I used it for a music festival. I've used it for concerts. I also used it like just going out for Halloween and things like that. It is just perfect. All Saints leather is just something that is so special. So it just feels very luxurious. It has a little card holder in here so you don't have to stuff your big wallet inside, but I love it. It is definitely one of my favorites. Very happy to have it in my handbag collection. Kind of rounding out the accessories bit of my favorites, the next thing I have is a belt, and I believe I've mentioned this belt before, but it is this studded belt from Lisa Says Ga. I bought this quite literally this time last year, and it is held up incredibly well, and I've worn it so many times. This is definitely probably like the most worn item in my closet right now. I love this belt so much. I believe this is a dupe for a Kate belt. I mean, there's a few scuffs here and there, and you can definitely tell that I've been like tightening it up. But overall, this has definitely been one of my favorite accessories of the year. The last fashion favorite that I want to talk about is a pair of shoes, and it is these Vans Old Schools. They're the Old Schools in the pop cush, so it has a softer cushion for your feet, and I am obsessed with it. I feel like every like what 18 months I get a new pair of sneakers, and these are kind of like my newest pair. I've always been a Vans girly. I feel like I teeter between Vans and like just a classic white leather shoe. So I'm back on the Vans train. I really love these. They are so comfortable. I literally broke these in at a music festival and my feet were not killing me that badly. I feel like the pop cushion definitely helped. They're just a classic black shoe. I feel like I've kind of been missing a black sneaker in my shoe collection for a minute, so I'm happy to have these. I don't know what else to say about Vans. They're quite literally a classic. They never go out of style, so yeah. That was it for all of my fashion favorites. Let's move on to my beauty favorites of the past few months. The first beauty favorite is a fragrance that I've been wearing non-stop. Like, this is the one I keep reaching for these days, and it is also one that I keep getting tons of compliments on, and it is my Le Labo Tokyo Edition Gaiac 10. I actually got this in September of last year. So in case you didn't know, Le Labo is a brand that has like city exclusive scents. And then in the months of August and September, they actually carry the city exclusives across the globe at all of their different locations. So last year I picked this up at the downtown LA location. I think it was just like something about the expensive price point that Le Labo's at. I was just being way too precious with this perfume. And then a switch flicked off in my brain and it was like, Tori, you've literally purchased this product. It's literally meant to be used and enjoyed, so enjoy your perfume. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna start wearing this all the time. According to a quick Google search, the fragrance notes are musk, Gaiac wood, cedar, and frankincense. So it's definitely one of those more like unisex scents, and I just really love the way it lays on my skin. I don't know, I'm no like perfume expert. All I know is that when I wear it, I feel good, I smell good, and other people tell me that too. So that's very fun, I guess. Next item I have here is from the brand Day. They are like a hair care company, and I have really been loving their cactus fruit 3-in-1 styling wand. I believe this is kind of just like a more mini on the go version of their actual styling cream. But what's really interesting about this packaging is that it has like this like spoolie, like a mascara spoolie, so you kind of just like brush it through the flyaways in your hair. And I will say I'm someone who's pretty low maintenance when it comes to my hair, but I have noticed that my hair can get a little frizzy, a little bit wild. So I really like how this kind of just tames my baby hairs. I also really love the scent. Oh my god, the cactus root, it kind of just smells like Skittles to me. It like smells so sweet and candy-like that I'm like, I really just wish I could smell like this all the time. This also might be another product that I get a lot of you smell good compliments on. So it makes your hair smell good and also look good. So I've really been loving this, just like chucking it into my purse and stuff. It's great. The last beauty product I want to talk about is actually an eyeshadow palette. And I'm not necessarily someone who is fantastic at makeup. I think the extent of my makeup is like, I just love something that looks like your natural face, but at the same time, I can appreciate a really fun bright blush, or I can appreciate just like glitter on the eyelids every now and then. And I was honestly influenced by this from TikTok because I saw the most beautiful woman just like swatch this on her eyes, and I was like, that is all I want. I just want something that will make my eyes sparkle. And that is the Wicked palette from r.e.m Beauty, r.e.m Beauty, Ariana Grande's makeup line. Let me just say, yes, I am obsessed with Wicked. I am obsessed with the musical. I cannot wait for the movie to come out. But I will say a lot of the Wicked products and collaborations this past month have just really been giving greedy consumerism. But this palette is art. I'm telling you, I used it for Sweat Tour. I used it for Halloween. I can't wait to do more like holiday makeup looks with this palette. Like, it is stunning. Oh my God. Just like, look at all these shimmer shades are so unbelievable. Oh my God. Maybe. Like, are you kidding me? Hold on. Yeah. You're looking at that, right? I think as a young person, like a teenager and young adult, I really internalized like the makeup tips that I got from 17 magazine, and they were always like, if you want your eyes to pop, wear purple eyeshadow if you have brown eyes. And now I've kind of realized that I'm not a purple eyeshadow girly. I am kind of like this iridescent kind of periwinkle pink and green girl. Like, oh my God, something about these here. Like, this is what they kind of look like. It's kind of giving, this is kind of giving Powerpuff Girls, but the shine is incredible. Not only do I love the shimmer shades, but I also really love this cool tone espresso shade for like a little bit of eye contour. Like, it's just so good. You really did that, Ariana Grande. I love it. That's it for all of like my physical favorites. Moving on to some of my other favorites that I've really been loving. The first is Suki Waterhouse's new album, Memoir of a Sparkle Muffin. My favorites from this album are Super Sad, Faded, Model Actress Whatever, Big Love, Lawsuit, Could Have Been a Star, and To Love. That's so many of them. But I really am just like a Suki Waterhouse stan. Okay, that's my girl. Lately, I've also become quite an avid Letterboxd user, so I think Letterboxd is another one of my relatively recent favorites. Some of my favorite movies have been Party Girl. I know I mentioned that in my like collage video. I really loved that movie. I loved The Substance. I know everyone's talking about The Substance. I am not a horror girly. I am very squeamish. I don't love body horror. I faced my fears head on simply for The Substance, and it was so worth it. I loved The Substance. I also loved A Different Man, starring, I believe, Adam Pearson and Sebastian Stan. I love the choices that Sebastian Stan is making, like in his career, like post Marvel, or like I guess in tandem with Marvel, because he still is in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But A Different Man was so good, and I feel like seeing that and The Substance in like the same week was like a very interesting double feature in a way. I also really loved West Side Story. I saw the original West Side Story movie for the first time recently. That movie was really beautiful. Definitely a product of its time, but it was definitely a beautiful movie. I really enjoyed my time with that one. I also recently watched The Fabelmans. I think one reason why I really loved The Fabelmans is because I think for a lot of Steven Spielberg movies, he has a really hard time like conveying romantic love. He's really good at like showing like familial love or like love between friends and like a chosen family. But boy, the romantic relationship he like portrayed in The Fabelmans, it was so good. It was so good. Michelle Williams was fantastic. Gabriel LaBelle, who was in that movie, and he was also in Saturday Night. I was like, I didn't like Saturday Night, but I like you. I like what you're doing. Another like app that I've really been loving is Canopy. I recently renewed my library card, and I have access to Canopy, which is this website that offers you access to a plethora of different movies through your public library. And let me just say, I'm about to hit like my peak cinephile mode because I now have access to so many different movies. I also feel like in the current political climate, there's a lot of talk about people unsubscribing from streaming platforms and like, you know, no longer supporting certain like billionaires. I would definitely recommend Canopy if you are trying to cut ties with certain streaming platforms. So if you don't have your library card, go get one. But that's it for all of my favorites. I hope you enjoyed. I felt like this was very chatty, but it was nice to sit down and chat with you again. I promise I will see you much sooner for the next video, but if you want to see more from me, feel free to follow me on any of my socials. I will link them down below. You can follow me on Letterboxd, you can follow me on TikTok and all of those fun things. But yes, I will see you very soon for the next one. Bye.